It doesn't claim to be the lightest or most aero road bike in the world, but the brand new 4th generation Condor Cycles Leggero is definitely an interesting alternative to the more popular race bikes in the world right now. I've been riding a bike for the last few weeks, and today I'm going to share my review of the bike, how it rides and performs, the likes and dislikes, the pricing and specification of the bike behind me. So Condor Cycles is one of the oldest bike shops in the world, based in central London, and also make a nice line of bikes too. And the Leggero is a 4th generation flagship race bike, a full carbon frame and fork, and made in Italy by Sato, a highly regarded frame manufacturer who make all their own carbon frames and built to Condor's specification. And it is a very modern looking bike too, a full internal routing with the option of a one-piece carbon handlebar and stem, press fit bottom bracket, and space for 30mm wide tyres. The bike I've been testing has some very juicy parts on it indeed, including the latest Campagnolo Super Record 13-speed group set, and also the new Campagnolo wheels. These launched late last year and are a mid-depth all-round wheel set with a wavy rim profile that's very popular in the wheel market right now, alternating between 40 and 45mm deep, and the rims measure 23mm internally and have a hooked rim design, so you can ride in inner tubes or tubeless, whatever you prefer. On the scales, this size 55 with no bottom cages or computer mount fitted or pedals weighs 7.8 kilograms. Let's talk money, and a frame set, so frame and fork with a free bike fit at the London store will set you back £5,000, and that is S-Works Tarmac money. 4 bills with a Shimano 105 Di2 group set, the 3rd tier electronic group set, will set you back just over £6,500. And the bike I've been riding, the top end bike with Campagnolo Super Record and a Shimano wheels and carbon fibre everything, is £10,730. That definitely punches money. And to put that price in a bit more perspective, a Trek Madone with a Shimano Dura Di2 group set is £700 less, while an Italian design but made in Asia Villa Volante SLR is £500 more. So it's in the ballpark for a top-end carbon frame with a top-end group set. But the fact you are getting a frame made in Italy from a small manufacturer where the costs are probably higher compared to made in Asia where the factories are bigger and made in bigger numbers and more mass manufacturing, and the prices are therefore cheaper for those frame units. And if you really value where a frame is made, as many people do, then that might add more value to the bike here on offer. As for sizing, there's a choice from 46 up to 61, and the bike I've been riding for my 181 centimeter height is 55 centimeters with a 120 stem, and the fit is pretty good and feels very similar to a 56 from Specialized or Trek, and the geometry does compare very well to a typical race bike. The stack and reach are very racy, so definitely a bike designed for racing, that low slung position, nice and aerodynamic, keep your head down and reduce your frontal surface area. It may not be wind tunnel optimized like its rivals, but it's still a quick bike, very rapid indeed. Doesn't have the same electric feel of a Tarmac or Trek Madone, but it's no slouch, it's not a slow bike at all. And what it does have is ride quality. I've been fortunate to ride several Sato road bikes over the last 20 years, and they've always had this amazing ride quality, a level of smoothness you don't always get from other carbon road bikes. Just soaks up the ripples and the cracks in the road so well, so supple on my local roads. No doubt helped by the fat tyres that Condor had put on the bike. They really maxed out tyre clearance with a 32mm Hutchinson Blackbird tyre, and not a tyre I've used before, but they are very fast and very grippy, and definitely a confidence inspiring tyre in these crappy conditions right now. I mean, the sun has come out, but it's still cold and windy and wet, and my jacket is filthy. So the tyres, my first time on them, yeah, I quite like them, but I swapped the tyres for a Conti Grand Prix 5000, a more familiar tyre, one I've used a lot over the last year to remove that variable from my testing. What really surprised me when I first rode this bike is just how much it looked after me. I half expected the usual full gas race bike experience. rock solid, super stiff and a bit unforgiving. But after just a few rides on this bike, those worries completely disappeared. It's got that classic race bike geometry, so it's quick and accurate without ever feeling nervous or twitchy, and the fit is pretty much spot on for me. The handling is typical race bike. Very light steering, very fast turning, it's great through the corners and in a fast moving bunch, and has that aggressive stance of a race bike. Low slung, get nice and aero on this Condor aero handlebar, and I don't even mind the shape of the handlebar. Not my personal preference, but a nice aerodynamic shape and a two-piece bar and stem, so you could, if you wanted, change to a longer, short stem or put a different handlebar on if you wanted to. And when you buy a Condor Leggero or any Condor model in their range, you get a free bike fit as well. So go to the London bike shop, get a bike fit and make sure you're well sized for the bike. Even though the frames are stock and off the shelf, they make sure all components on the frame match your fit requirements. And when you're spending 10 grand on a bike, you want it to fit you perfectly. And bike fit is definitely an area where bike brands need to raise the game, because with the move to aero frames and one-piece handlebars and custom seat posts, you can't easily change the fit of a bike so much. And that's something that Condor Cycles definitely focus on and do offer with a free bike fit you get when you buy one of their bikes. And part of the motivation for getting the bike in for testing is Condor offered me the opportunity to ride the new groupset equipped on their bike. So two birds, one stone. And the groupset does work very well, as you'd hope for a top level flagship £3,000 groupset. Performance is, very good. Gear changes are quick and precise. Not as quick as Shimano, probably a bit quicker or about the same as SRAM, both in the work stand, in the studio, and out here on the open road. And it's fairly quiet too, but maybe a bit clunkier than Shimano and SRAM. Front shifts are reliable, and you can cross chain, you can shift on the load, on the climbs, all works just fine. But my big issue is the shifting layout and the thumb shifter. And it's hard to be objective when it comes to shifting layout, because it's such a personal thing. But for me, in terms of ranking the group sets for shifting logic and how intuitive they are, for me, in first place would be SRAM, left, right, up, down, super easy, then Shimano, and in third place, and maybe a distant third, is Campag. And the main issue for me on this latest group set is the thumb shifter is too far back, and I have to re-bend, angle my thumb back, and actually move my hand back to change gear and operate the thumb shifter, which I shouldn't have to do. I shouldn't have to move my hand to change gear. You don't on Shimano or SRAM, but here I do. And for that reason, I just can't fall in love with it. If it was a tiny bit further forward, it would be okay, but it's just too far back. Maybe it's the shape of my hands and my small thumbs, I don't know, but I just can't get on board with the performance, that shifting ergonomics. The actual ergonomic shape of the hoods is fantastic, the nice curved brake levers, the tactile material, all fine. But there is a way around the thumb shifter, because Campag have added small dimple buttons, like SRAM bonus buttons on the inside of the hood, and left goes down, right goes up, and you can just use those the whole time. But they're quite small buttons, they're not the most tactile, and really they're there as optional buttons, accessory buttons. You could tune them to work your computer, say, or some other component on your bike. So yeah, the thumb shifter is a thumbs down for me, I'm afraid. Which is a shame. I've tried to like it and modify my riding position, but every time I get back on a Shimano SRAM bike and then come back to Campag, I just think, no, I'm sorry, it doesn't work. What a shame. What a shame. And the other issue for me are the brakes. Campag brakes have always had a good reputation for power, delivery, modulation and all that stuff, but for me the brake levers just feel a bit heavy compared to Shimano, which are quite light, and the new SRAM, which feels super light. And I think SRAM are really moved. They are now the benchmark brakes in terms of lever feel, how light that lever action is. There's no resistance, no weight to them at all, but Campag feels a bit weighty. Like the brake levers are firm, but they're quite heavy. I just don't feel as nice as SRAM or even Shimano. So for me, the thumb shifter, the brakes aren't in the same league as Shimano and SRAM. That's my own personal view. You may feel differently. If you're in a group set, let me know by dropping a comment down below. So it may not have the racing credentials or wind tunnel testing or super lightweight of other race bikes in the space, but if you want a nice riding, smooth, elegant, classy, Italian-made race bike that just delivers all those race bike thrills with none of the ugly looks and have a concession to performance being made in the race bike category right now, then the new Leggero is definitely worth considering. So hopefully you enjoyed my review of the new Condor Cycles Leggero and the Campagnolo Super Record wireless group set. And if you want to see a review of some other Italian bikes, definitely worth considering, then watch the video on the screen now beside me. And of course, make sure you are subscribed to the channel to see more bike reviews on a regular basis, and hopefully in some nice sunnier weather. What a grotty time of year for testing bikes. But hopefully the worst is behind us, and hopefully I've not jinxed it by saying that. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again very soon.